I was in the backyard trimming some bushes in 90-degree weather. It was 7 o'clock in the evening. It's still daylight. I came in to rest before taking a shower. And I think I've said it before where I go into this deep quietness, this centeredness of beingness. Well, usually it's like a step-by-step thing. Well, this time it happened so fast that I didn't even feel that it happened. But I was somewhere in the physical realm, and it was nighttime over there. So I'm guessing it was somewhere in the East Coast or somewhere in the East. And I could feel the cool, refreshing night air, even though I was here in California. And over there, I don't know where it was exactly over there. And my intuition and my true self, for some reason, weren't there. I seemed to be floating between 15 or 20 feet in the air. And I was staring at a building, and the building had lights on the roof, on the edge of the roof. But I couldn't really see it clearly. It was kind of like blurry. And then the bottom part of the building was like, it had glass doors or glass bottom area. But again, it was nighttime. I couldn't really see clearly, and there was something kind of like blurry about it. But I could feel the refreshing air. And I was wondering, why am I here? What's all this about? And I didn't feel any danger, and I did not feel any fear or nothing, just floating there, looking, wondering. Like my intuition didn't seem to say nothing. If my true self was there, sometimes it comes in a formless way, so I'm not really too aware of it. But my intuition didn't seem to really be there either. And then I noticed to the right of the building, further down, that there was some kind of commotion going on. And then all of a sudden this being came forward, and I could see that it was a female being. And she looked like around 25 years old or 30 years old, around there. She was kind of young. She had black hair. And she looked at me like, what the hell are you doing here? Who the hell are you? And she didn't say that, but the way she looked at me like, you don't belong here. Well, all of a sudden she started spewing and saying, you don't have no authority to be here. You don't have permission to be here. And I thought, oh no, here we go again with, I don't belong here. This is no authority, blah, blah, blah. And she went back. And all of a sudden she started to summon this dark energy. And all of a sudden there was like maybe 7 to 10 shadow beings to her right, and maybe 7 to 10 shadow beings to her left. And they were all like combining with her to summon this dark, dark power. Again, I did not feel danger, and I did not feel fear. Just, I was still dumbfounded at why I was there. Well, right when she was almost going to like attack me, all of a sudden my intuition finally kicked in a little bit. And even though I was facing her and her shadow being, the shadow beings had human faces, but I couldn't see them. They were kind of blurry. But anyways, when my intuition kicked in a little bit, I turned around and I saw that these beings looked like they came out of hyperdrive. Like when you see ships coming out of hyperdrive, these beings came really fast coming out of hyperdrive. And then they slowed down, and there was maybe 7 or 10 to my left and 7 or 10 to my right. Now these beings had robes on, and their robes were crystal clear, transparent. And sometimes I could see them, sometimes I couldn't because it was nighttime, and my intuition wasn't really saying too much. But the light of the building sometimes would hit their robes, and they would shimmer a little bit. anyways, that lady then came forward, and and it was like the death of terror struck to her, the center of her core being. She became so dreadfully fearful after she saw these beings that her and her shadow beings took off like in when the ships take off in hyperdrive. They just took off, and I'm like, well, I didn't understand. I would, I didn't understand what this was all about. So my physical awareness just said this must be some kind of assignment. That's the only thing I could think of. This is kind of assignment because my true self, my intuition didn't say nothing. And then the experience ended, but later on I did ponder on of why did I feel fear and why did I feel danger? That was like totally indifference to both of these things. But why I was there, I don't know. So that was the experience.
Thank you, Ramon. Thank you so much. I'd like to comment on that. And these things are fun. It's fun adventure. You're very fortunate that you have these. You want to record these. This is your history. You know, like Kevin left some of his books here that he printed of his experiences and stack of them, and it's just great. And Peter's been reading some of them, etc. And it's so cool. I'm very grateful to know, you, Jeremy, and others, etc., that have stepped up, and all the others that have, good, bad, or indifferent, have shared with whatever. It's very, very important. But yes, you were the bait. Okay. So again, it's interesting. And from what you're saying, you went to the East Coast. All right. But that was your awareness. You went to the East Coast, and it was set up to draw this person out and all her subjects, like the influence. You can call her the influence if you want. It could be Kelsey, young girl, dark hair, whatever, who knows? Doesn't matter. All right. And you see what's going on. And again, basically what she's saying to you, she was surprised that you were there. It's like, what are you doing here? This is none of your business. You have no authority. When people say that, when people say something in regards to authority or this or that, or where's your pass or whatever, that refers to what? Control, to the controllers. Because the real guys don't say that. They don't say that authority stuff or what have you. Okay. Just like in school, when you went out into the hallway and if a teacher saw you and questioned you, it's like, where's your hall pass? It's like, otherwise you're not supposed to be there. Why aren't you in the classroom if you have no hall pass? And so it's all funny stuff, but you were sent there to draw them out. And so as soon as you did, as soon as she brought up her little, forces there, etc., well, the boys showed up, didn't they? And just by their very presence, she saw that she could do nothing. And they don't have to do anything. It's just their presence. And see, you experienced that. You intuitively experienced her fear, you see? And so again, what a cool experience. And it's interesting to note that, yeah, the faces that were there of those individuals that were kind of foggy or whatever, or blurry, it's because you don't recognize them. And that's okay. In time you will, but it's not important. All right. And you may not recognize her, and it's fine. It's not important. It'll show up. And the building's very, very interesting, dark, but it has lights on top of it. Okay. Kind of like the White House, huh? And all the funny stuff that go on in DC and the East Coast. So, yeah, your part was simply to draw them out. They used you because of you're particular, to draw them out, and they knew that they would reveal themselves. And so this is how the boys work. In other words, the real guys work. In other words, They just utilize something, whatever it is, good, bad, or indifferent. And I saw this with myself when I took on the rod of power. I soon realized, hey, I'm the scapegoat. I'm the guy they're putting out there, I'm the little guy that, I'm attracting all this stuff and I got to deal with it. I'm the fall guy, but that's okay. That's just how it is. That's just part of it. Paul too went through that. Everyone's went through that because that's how it is. And so they more easily relate to you. But then again, the real guides show up and you see what's happening. It's all very simple. Always look at it very simple. It's like, oh, now I see what's going on. And so again, the building doesn't look like the White House, but it's giving you the idea. In other words, there's lights on the roof, but they're not, they're artificial light, aren't they? And what is the White House? It's a cute idea, the White House, like it's supposed to be pure. And it's got lighting at night. Yeah. And it's really kind of blurry and things are dark, etc. So you're seeing the darkness that's controlling all of that. That's just part of the darkness, etc. And so who can see this? Who will understand it? But anyhow, yes, thank you so much, Ramone, for sharing that. That's really cool. All life is awareness. That's the best part, you see? We don't need hocus pocus anymore, so it all makes sense. So whatever's to be next, that's what's next. Yes, I'm very glad to be a part of it and to help all of you all these years wake up. And as you've come here and decided to participate, well, it paid off. It's all paid off. And it continually will because it's endless and it will get better and better and more aware. And yes, we will have difficulties, but we will help each other face them, just like Ramone's experience. He had an assignment, but he's got the backup. All of us have the backup. The real guides are there.